Starting.
Hello, everybody. We are Quest for Change, a survey management system. We are CAD.js. I'm Jacob Shipman, and my team is including Aaron Goldstein, Carter Johnston, and Dory Mato. We teamed up with Yoga for Change. Yoga for Change is a nonprofit organization that uses yoga to empower underserved populations such as veterans, youths, incarcerated individuals, and those struggling with mental health. They organize programs combining evidence-based techniques such as cognitive behavior therapy and mindfulness with the physical practice of yoga. They came to us with these relevant problems and needs, such as helping retain information on their own system without having to fetch their data from another company or service. They wanted a user-friendly program for admins and instructors alike, and flexible and dynamic enough for their organization's expansion. We had user stories which created a comprehensive list capturing needs and requirements of target users. User stories to guide development process and adapting as necessary. We maintain a Jira board that tracks progress, containing a complete list of user stories, tasks, and status updates. It prioritizes user needs and requirements, and also created a product aligned with target users meeting their needs effectively. We had 4 use cases, which included survey creation, survey distribution, survey taking, and survey reporting. As for the development process, I'm going to hand it off to Carter.
Thank you,
Or
Jacob.
Aaron.
I'll actually be taking over from here, Carter. Sorry, you'll be up in just a moment. Our software development project followed the RUP framework, and we had 4 distinct phases we went through. This is the inception phase, elaboration, construction, and transition. During the inception phase, we developed a vision document that outlined our project goals, our target audience, and high-level requirements. In the elaboration phase, we worked closely with the client Yoga for Change to further define and refine the requirements. We also selected the technology stack for the project, including MongoDB, SvelteKit, and Azure. We chose these technologies based on their ability to meet the client's needs and preferences. In the construction phase, we followed an agile development approach, committing to a few Scrum tasks at a time and receiving feedback from the client. We adjusted the project on a monthly basis to ensure that we were meeting the client's evolving needs. Finally, during the transition phase, we moved the project over to the client's Azure cloud. This involved rigorous testing and validation to ensure that the application works seamlessly in the client's environment and that all necessary data and resources were transferred successfully. Next slide. And Carter, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, so for our architecture, because we were using SvelteKit, it led us to using a 3-tier architecture model. So with our browser, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, this will allow users to interface with our app, and our application logic would be on the 2nd tier, the server tier, which comprises of our client and server code. And then our data source would be our database, our MongoDB database, which has a survey collection and a response collection. For our UML diagrams, from left to right, we have a sequence diagram, an analysis model, and a process flow. And we created these UML diagrams for each use case. And then here's our ERD. So we're using a NoSQL database, and this would be our schema mapped out. For tech stack, like Aaron said, we're using Svelte for our application framework, and SvelteKit, MongoDB for our database, and we're hosting on Azure. We're using GitHub Actions for our CI/CD pipeline, and Jira for our issue tracking, and Lucidchart for diagramming. And then I'm going to pass it off to Dory.
I just wanted to discuss a little bit of the value added to our client. So with the addition of the survey application, our client will no longer need to rely on Qualtrics to create and house all of their surveys. They will be able to provide and keep everything in-house with no third parties involved. It'll provide lower overhead costs and more freedom and flexibility to create the surveys they want when they want to. It'll also aid them in their goal of expanding to a regional scale and eventually national. Some of the key learnings during the course of our project, the first one being delegating our tasks. So we assign tasks to team members based on their strengths and expertise to improve efficiency and productivity. We utilize community resources and forums. We leverage online resources and communities to solve problems more effectively and enhance the quality of the final product. We maintain consistent communication with the client. We regularly checked in, provided progress reports, and communicated openly to ensure the project aligned with the client's needs and expectations. And we tried to resolve problems early. So we identified and addressed problems early to maintain a solid foundation and keep the project on track towards its goals. Next slide. Before I hand it off to Aaron for the demo, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Ricardo, Christian, Jitesh, and Will at Spinspire. They were our mentors during the course of this project. Shiva, Shanta, and Danielle at Yoga for Change, as well as our professor, Dr. Umapapi.
Thank you for that, Dory.
For the dinner.
Now, for our demo, for our project, our primary goals were a user-friendly interface for creating and sharing a user-friendly interface for creating and sharing surveys with the ability to easily copy a link to distribute the survey, a simple and straightforward survey-taking interface for respondents, and the ability to download survey data in the CSV format for further analysis and reporting outside of the system. Now, Carter is walking us through the copy process, and now we can see the survey-taking page. From here, we can submit the survey. He's just going to fill out these required questions. There we go. Thank you, Carter. Now that that has been submitted, we'll go to the reporting page. And this response data will be stored here. And we will be able to select this survey and download the spreadsheet containing the response information, where Yoga for Change will be able to perform further analysis on the data. And that is going to be the overall flow of our application.